decision making is the most critical thing for any marketer.
So from a commercial standpoint, what did you learn both agency side and brand side?
I learned so much going into new businesses.
A lot of people want to make that move but can find it difficult, especially nowadays.
I wasn't scared to move around either. In my last agency role, I had 80 clients.
What?
I didn't know who they were, but I had people are able to get word of mouth more often than not is by giving a really, really good story on the product.
Yeah.
Not a really, really good story on brand.
Hey guys, it's Jack Johnson, one of the hosts of the Digital Cheesecake podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I was hoping if you could like and share our podcast, that would be absolutely amazing. The more you do that, the more we get awareness of our podcast. And thank you so much. Welcome back, guys, to another Digital Cheesecake podcast.
Welcome back.
Myself and Sarah here in the hot seat, as well as Jamie Irving, SVP of Digital at
Welcome
Pentland
today.
Brands. Welcome.
Trying to stay cool today, basically.
It's roasting today, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely boiling.
So you come all the way from North London today.
I am coated in sweat just for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was it on the underground? Was it just like really
It's
toasty?
disgusting.
Yeah, it's getting
It's
that way,
horrible
isn't it?
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've moved to the Lake District a while ago, and we just forget how sweaty it is in the summer. It's just really sweaty in the underground.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back in
Yeah.
on the hottest day.
Yeah, exactly.
No, thanks for coming.
How could I not? I heard you base this on loose women.
I know loose women overlap, like a weird mix of both.
Yeah, for digital and e-commerce.
So if anyone doesn't know, you've had some incredible positions. So you've been a partner at OMD,
Yeah.
partner at Brain Labs,
Yeah.
digital director at Boden,
Yeah.
SVP of Digital at Pentland. So I do want you to introduce yourself, but I'm dying to know, because I would say you're probably, for anyone who's listening, in the top 5% of digital directors in your peer group. So how
Just
did you
in
get...
terms of title, not capability.
No, definitely both.
Yeah, being
Definitely
modest,
both.
yeah,
But
yeah.
how have you gone? I mean, talk me through your career to date. But I'm really interested just to see how you got these amazing positions.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't great at uni.
Yeah.
And then tried recruitment for a bit. I didn't like that.
Interesting.
Which company
fact.
were you with?
Oh, it was a small one. It was IT recruitment based in Manchester.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then it was like, got the opportunity to move to London because my cousin was moving. I was like, probably need a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So went into media sales and then was like, I want to be on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then went into the agency world.
Okay.
And it just kind of worked.
Yeah.
Like that's it. It just clicked. Like, because education didn't make too much sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a bit all over the place, as you can probably tell. So as soon as I got into the working world, making money made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because, I hadn't done amazingly in my degree, I was like, I want to be better than everyone else. And that was it. It was just pure, like, if I had the opportunity to progress, I wanted to be the first one to progress.
Yeah.
I oddly said to myself in my 20s, I was like, for the next 10 years, head down,
Amazing.
motor it, move
Yeah.
up as fast as you can, learn as much as you can. And I wasn't scared to move around either. So
Yeah.
throughout, during that period, I was moving around maybe every 18 months.
Yeah. So it's
To a
about
new
the
company
average.
or a new role.
New company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually
That's interesting. Okay.
I learned so much going into new businesses.
Yeah.
Because that's a genuine reset, right? And people say all agencies are the same. They're not really. Like, I was mostly independent agencies until the move to OMD.
Yeah.
And within independents, it was always, how can I specialize as much as possible?
Okay.
So I was very rarely in like a pure play client service role. Even when I then ended up being, I was at Infectious Media, which is now Kepler, that was programmatic first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was always like,
That's
how can
really
you be
niche.
a specialist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look now, I think actually that's what safeguarded me to a degree, is the fact that I think specialists rule again. And particularly now client side, I think specialists have a little bit more freedom. The value that you add as a specialist straight away, I think, is greater because you're normally filling a knowledge gap. And so much is based around digital transformation and D2C transformation that there's always opportunity. So I really just flogged myself, if I'm honest.
So
So I
good.
did that through, like I say, through my 20s, had kids relatively early, I think around 28, 29.
Yeah.
And at that point decided that it was the best idea to move job at the same time as having a kid.
Okay.
But it was perfect because I went to OMD, and OMD, it was their EMEA, or their international office. Absolutely fantastic. Like that, in terms of my agency learning, was probably the best move that I could have made. It was a brilliant agency, multi-market, some massive clients, but also some smaller clients. Some really brilliant people in that business. So that was a bit of a catapult for me. And then decided that, you know what, I've experienced enough agency side. I kind of, you know, through COVID, agencies were bloody hard.
Yeah.
And being senior in an agency at that point, it wasn't fun.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to make a
magnifying
move.
glass would have been on all the seniors.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, with burning light through it. So at that point, I was like, okay, this feels like time for career number 2. So I think everyone's got 3 careers in them.
What do you mean by
it's
3
bloody
careers?
boring,
What do
isn't
you mean
it?
by 3 careers? Like 3 big moves, or
3 big moves into something totally different.
right? Okay,
So I don't class, like, if I stayed agency side throughout,
Yeah.
that's all consistent.
Yeah.
that's one.
That's
Number
one
one.
chunk of
Yeah.
a career.
Yeah.
But if you think, like, we work for bloody ages.
I know.
Like, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd love to retire at 50. It's just not going to happen, is it? So to keep it interesting and to make sure that you're continuously learning, I think having
Yeah.
a few careers is great. So client side was the start of my second career.
Nice.
And that move was really interesting, brilliant. You get to see everything end to end. You're not part of that one little bit. You're part of the whole. So you're seeing campaigns throughout. But the key thing for me was I got to learn how retailers make money.
Yeah.
I started to understand a different P&L, how to shift product, not people, because you're selling people in an agency.
Yeah.
And that was totally different. Like, how do you make margin in that world? Learning digital, learning digital, how to sell, not just how to serve ads. Then started to learn CRM, you know, took on board massive print budgets, catalogs through doors, which for someone who specialised in programmatic was a bit of a shift. So it was all these additional bits that came in. I loved working with insight teams. So that's one of the key things that I found moving to client is
What did you like in particular about that?
they're so underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the single biggest and most important function that every business should invest in.
Exactly.
It should be the start of everything that you do. If you think of the product you're wearing, that should start with an insight.
Yeah.
So it's not just insight fuels marketing. It's insight fuels everything. Because if you've got shit product, you can't sell it. And at the end of the day, marketing is sales.
Yeah.
So that was a massive learning curve, which is why like now I've got insight reporting into me, because it's just the consumer has to be front and center. So that was a big shift as well, understanding a different world of insight.
Yeah.
Because in agency, it's all about MMM and it's all about measurement. You'll have some stuff around personas and all of that, but it's how do you target someone and how do you measure it?
Yeah.
It's not how do you create a product someone is going to love. How do you engage with your consumers on an ongoing basis? How do they actually feel about the brand?
Yeah.
It's just a different world. So that was really interesting. And that was, the start of career number 2. I've waffled, is that?
No, that's
I think
perfect.
it's
I want to
great.
know what career number 3 is.
Well, yeah. But I think it's great that you still massively advocate for agency and having that start in agency, because I mean, we love agency, but obviously we're biased. But and then the difference and the shift in client side, because I think a lot of people want to make that move, but can find it difficult, especially nowadays, because the market has so many amazing.
I mean, I took a punt at the time. I went into client side as a contractor, which is a risk.
That's okay.
So they
that's
tried before they buyed.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
That's a good way to do it.
But
I
that's a
think.
good way of getting in.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, within 2 months, I was then permanent. There's a certain
Amazing.
work ethic you get from an agency.
Yes.
I mean,
agree.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is the best place you can learn
good
and start
training
your
ground.
career.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Interestingly, you said when you went into fashion, it's taught you to not become more commercial, but understand the retailer from a commercial point of view. As we know, agencies are super commercial.
Yeah.
You've got a sales background. So from a commercial standpoint, what did you learn from a commercial lens, both agency side and brand side?
I think it's the equation of where does marketing spend fit in the P&L.
Right.
So which sounds daft, right? But if you're in an agency, you may be one step removed from that. So the calculation's about, okay, what ROAS do you need to operate at?
Yeah.
That will be potentially passed to an agency, or the remit within they need to work is passed to them. When you go client side, it was understanding, well, actually, if that product is at that margin, I can afford to spend this much.
Yeah.
And understanding if someone's first purchase is on this product, then their lifetime value is going to be greater. So the commercial levers that you have to play with are huge. Like it's so much more significant. And then you bring into that the fact that you genuinely have consumer data. I mean, depending on what sort of agency you're in, you might get an audience segment passed to you.
Yeah.
You might be asked to be involved in what the consumer approach is. But having your consumers at your fingertip, going into the next year, being able to go, this is the base level of revenue that I expect to make if everything remains the same.
Yeah.
The consumers are the barometer for that. That was all a new world for me.
Yeah.
But it made sense because it was commercial. Agency, I just found you've got your P&L, which you operate to. And there can be division on different P&Ls, particularly in bigger businesses, and that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's either going to be a client or a team P&L that you're working with. So the margin that you're operating for the business is based on how many people are working on it and how efficient you can be and how many more products you can sell in.
Yeah.
It's not based on, okay, you buy this product for this, you're selling it for that, so there's a discount in there potentially. You can spend this much in marketing, your team is then this size. What does that all mean for your consumer base? Because existing consumers are so much cheaper than new consumers, but your existing consumers might age out at a certain point.
Yeah.
It's that world, which is, I really enjoy it. The commercials, I would class myself as a commercial marketer, and that's improved since I went client side.
What's more important this year as a senior marketeer? Is it being commercial first or marketing first? I know it's a very broad statement, but
For me or for the market?
for the market.
For the market.
2026 fashion retail, commercial first or marketing first?
I think naturally, based on the economy, we're commercial first as an industry.
Yeah.
However, you know, everyone says the best time to invest in marketing is in a recession. So this is the time to gain competitive advantage. That's going to be quite tough across the industry because there isn't masses of cash flowing around at the moment. So I think that will be led by how much backing there is for D2C businesses. I think that's going to be a significant push on it. And how much can they invest in the long term?
Yeah.
I'm kind of dancing around the question because honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's so much talk of the economy's crap. There's tariffs popping up and changing all the time. And then you've got the emergence of AI, which people are like, okay, really? Like, is that helping or is that hindering us?
Yeah.
I just need to go to a conference and say AI 5 times and I've done my bit.
Do you think
like,
people are actually learning by going to because we're talking about it all the time, but do you think people are actually learning about AI, and do you think the everyday senior marketeer actually knows? Because I don't think they do yet.
By going to conferences?
They're not, are they?
Or just
No,
learning.
they fuck.
They're not, are they?
Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
That's
You
fine.
can say,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
can say
go for it.
fuck and
All sorts. It's not like loose women. Is it? I think at conferences, are you learning? No.
yeah.
Are senior marketers learning? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I play around in it all the time. Like I have my Gemini subscription, which is I've got a personal one where I play around in and build stuff.
Yeah.
At work, it's actually brilliant. Like the amount of effort they're putting into making people AI literate is fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you training your guys or building tools in Pentland?
Yes, a bit of both.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on there. And then personally for me, like I've built stuff in Gemini really quickly, which is, you know, there's a website auditor, which is just really handy.
Nice.
Paid search auditor, paid social auditor, paid search optimization wizard. So like different things like that. And then my kids speak to it and create these weird pictures, but weird, like things like that, which, you know, I've not been hands-on for a while. I dip in and out of Google Ads, and like my technical knowledge is up there from, you know, a senior marketing standpoint. But for me to be able to build those things, like I'm not smart. There are people much smarter than I am, and they are, you know, manager level, senior manager level, particularly in agencies. They're the ones who will redefine it a little bit. I think the tricky thing is if you expect to learn this by going to conferences, you're just going to be left behind.
I'm interested to hear what you say, because I'm always in the mindset is there's always going to be someone else better out there than yourself in terms of marketing, sales, finance. You said there's clever people out there than yourself. However, you've had a fantastic career in terms of your last 4 moves. It's been really, really good. And do you think it is just work ethic? You know what you said about that 10 years head down, or is it something else?
Like a different drive.
I know this is probably an unpopular opinion,
Yeah.
and you'll have other marketers that come on and they will massively disagree with this.
Yeah.
I'm not saving anyone's life by doing what I do.
Yeah.
I think a surgeon could come and pick up what I do. I couldn't go and pick up what a surgeon does.
Yeah.
So there is a degree of we have to have some humility. There's a lot which comes with experience in this industry. So decision making is the most critical thing for any marketer. That's what
That's
everything rests
interesting
on.
you said that. What do you mean by decision making?
If you've got financial decisions to make all the time.
Yeah.
You need to make the right one. That's built on experience more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like a commercial marketer is in a slightly better position because they understand a P&L better.
Yeah.
And they'll have thought about measurement their whole career. But being able to just go, that's not the priority. This one is, that's what will make us money long and short term. That one we don't know. And there needs to be an element of testing, I agree. But most of the time it just comes down to how often do you make the right decision?
Yeah.
And how can you lead your team in the best possible way? Where I can't do brain surgery.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think
That's interesting you said that, because some
what
people
we do.
struggle to make decisions, and the decisions that they do make are sometimes the wrong one.
Which they can be, and
Yeah.
a lot of the times they are going to be. I mean, how do you deal with that as well, actually, if you have made the wrong decision at some
Just
point?
own up to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like if I make the wrong decision, ultimately I should be held responsible, and if that means that I should be sacked, so be it. So then I just will make the right decisions as best I can, using the best data that I can. Speaking to people, like I think the biggest mistake people make is you go into a business, you don't talk to anyone, you don't understand what's happened there.
Gosh, yeah. So true.
You look at like the tenure of a CMO in most places is what, a year?
18 months?
Which
18 months.
I always think, what can you actually do though, like in just a year or 6 months or something?
You're trying to get to know everyone's name in the first 3 months, aren't
Well,
you?
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But that's where, that could be you making a load of change straight away.
True.
Because you want the impact, because your tenure could be so short.
Yeah,
so you
true.
try and make as much impact as possible. So you don't listen to people in the way that you should.
That's a
The
good
decision making then starts to suffer because you don't understand the business you've come into. And every business has a different culture. Every business has different tensions.
Yeah.
You could go from, like in my world, one fashion retailer to another. They're still different businesses. They're still different personalities.
I'm interested to know about the difference between Boden and multi-brand Pentland. So what learnings have you got from one brand to a multi-brand?
So going to a single brand was probably the best thing that I could do.
Nice.
Just going from agency where, my last agency role, I had 80 clients.
What?
I didn't know who they were, but I had 80 clients. So single brand meant total focus.
Yeah.
And it meant that I could learn. I mean, I still work with now someone who poached me from Boden.
Oh.
Actually, I shouldn't say that on her, but we work together.
Yeah.
It's been long enough now.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So it's
I
been
don't
a
need
few
it.
years.
I don't need it.
Probably
happened.
the best person that I've worked with.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from them.
Yeah.
But I was able to grasp it because it was a single brand business. But then I got to a point where it was like, I love the complexity of agency and having the
that's
variety.
thing, yeah.
So multi-brand, when that came up, it was just a no-brainer. And they're also they're really cool brands.
Yeah.
Like they're legacy brands as well.
Who they got, for people who don't know? Speedo.
So we've got Speedo, Berghaus, Canterbury, Kickers, Mitre,
So many good ones.
Yeah.
Endura, LSA. So I mean, there's a lot of brands in there, and you go through the list, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
like genuinely exciting to be able to work on them. And then you look at all the activations they've had over the past few years, whether it be having Liam Gallagher, the Olympics, whatever it is. These are big moments. The FA Cup for Mitre. So there's so much there that's going on.
Yeah.
And multi-brand also, I'm a little bit ADHD, so it leans into that.
Yeah.
I've got 8 things going on in my head at any
Yeah.
one time, and I see that as a positive, not a negative.
Yeah.
But decision making becomes even more important then.
And then what investments have you made last year / this year that have actually moved the dial, both cheap, both expensive?
So in terms of tech, I mean, we've onboarded a CDP and an ESP for the first time.
Which one was that one?
A Mitre. Bloody brilliant.
Nice.
Like, honestly, sometimes you look at tech and you're like, oh, it's just a load of fancy pictures. And once you bring it in-house, it's not actually going to work like that.
Yeah.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
And honestly, the team there through the onboarding, fantastic.
Nice.
We
Good.
onboarded multi-market with however many brands I just listed, 7 brands, in 8 months.
And what's that like? Is that quick?
I think that's really
Is that
quick.
quick? Yeah.
Because nothing went wrong. So, I mean, that's where it's I guess more impressive. But yeah, I mean, that's been a game changer. Like having your consumer data actually at your fingertips. Because previously CRM was largely outsourced. We were working with the Hut Group, so it's a totally different ball game.
Okay.
So Mitre, a brilliant platform. That's been a fantastic one to have on board. There's a really interesting one actually that we've just started with called Social Tip, which I don't know if they've come up much, but it's the founder of Brewdog.
I recognise the name, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
James, the founder of Brewdog.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it, again, it's you're paying influencers? Is that right?
Well, it's turning your consumers into influencers.
That's it.
That's
So you tip them effectively.
It's such
and
a
then
cool
they
idea.
post to their networks, and it's based on a genuine purchase, whether online or offline. I feel like I'm selling it now, but it's just low barrier.
Yeah.
Means that you get a load of content quite easily, relatively cheap, one single platform, one single interface.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer to test. It's not going to work for every brand, but that's been quite an interesting one. Because you look at the world of influencers, it's like, how do you commercialize them as much as possible?
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, well, what's the single goal that a marketer can have is really to generate word of mouth. That's the hardest thing for us to do, is to get word of mouth and genuine buzz.
Yeah.
This is kind of a cool way of doing that because it is people recommending to friends. It's not an influencer recommending to their audience.
Yeah.
So that one's quite cool. I'm trying to think of what others. We're generally testing quite a lot. So it's always, it might not be a new supplier, but Google release something every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
we're always trying to have competitive advantage by going first, because you only get that for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then everyone's playing the same game. And I do think as you move more towards AI dominating, it's like, well, okay, what's the differentiator? Creative, data, and how quickly you can move.
Yeah.
And of course, products. If your product's shit, you're not selling anything. But like those things become more important. The algorithm's the algorithm. The platform's the platform. You can't beat Google at their own game because they know audience behavior on their platform.
Yeah.
And then you bring AI into it in a slightly different way, which is with AEO and GEO. So you're talking about search in a different way. It's exactly the same as, when Amazon launched Prime Video.
Yeah.
And they started with ads on it.
Yeah.
You pay your $7.99 subscription, which has probably gone up and probably out of date, but $7.99 subscription for your delivery. They then have the largest bloody OTT network out there purely because they turn ads on. You're not going to get rid of it, are you?
Yeah.
We're getting ads on there all the time, aren't we?
All the time, yeah. When you're watching stuff.
But it's only 2. Is it 2?
I don't know.
Depends on the program, I think.
Yeah.
But how much are you going to complain? You're not going to stop your subscription, are you?
No, you're just going to sit there and take it.
You want the delivery.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Netflix, you might not downgrade.
Yeah.
So that was like a fantastic move. Sorry, the reason why I was talking about that is then you look at the AI arms race in the search space.
Yeah.
It's so confusing, isn't it?
Well, Google had won.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon they've won. They've essentially just turned it on already, haven't they?
Yeah.
They have pretty much all search going through their platform. Like you can talk about the rise of like ChatGPT and others. The reality is you go to Google to search. They have the capability to switch that all to being Gemini first.
Where does it all come out of? Does it all come out of DeepMind within Google, or?
I think now you've still got DeepMind that's doing the really heavy stuff.
So I went to their offices once and it looked crazy. The wall, just like formulas everywhere. I had to look away. That
was all just to confuse you.
That's
all it's for.
This is to bamboozle you.
They're there on Excel in the background. That's where all the magic happens. But I think DeepMind's still there. That's in 10 years' time we'll probably go, that's what they were working on. That's fucking mental. But for now, it's laced throughout organizations like Google. So all of their product development has to have Gemini capability, I would have thought. But in the same way Amazon made that switch, Google can make that switch, and then they've got pretty much 90-something% of the search market is Gemini first. And then you're looking at, okay, well, you have got OpenAI, you have got Anthropic and the others. But then what are Amazon going to do? Because they're the biggest retail search engine. So you have some where it's just like they've got the data. They've been playing this game for years. As soon as their model is on point and caught up, it's a no-brainer. So
are you, in terms of your teams then, is that what I know everyone's focusing on AI, but are you focusing completely solely on AI, or are you focusing on AI content? Like, is there a particular focus at the moment for you?
Like for AI anything. Search?
Yeah.
So for AI search, I've got a really simplistic brain that you probably gathered that already, but I don't think there's anything outside of standard SEO practices at the moment which people need to focus on. So if your product data is good, and it's consumer first, and that is a huge point, right? Because if you think about the feed of products from retailers,
so true.
If that's called, I don't know, you call it the Julia, when really it's just a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
Right? You call it a black t-shirt, people look for a black t-shirt, they don't look for a Julia.
Yeah, true.
So that, like having consumer first product data, content on your site which talks to the why, like so it's answering questions, that gives more power to LLMs. And then the last one is just make sure your site is technically on point, but that's similar to what you do with SEO. Digital PR, I think, is the one which will have a boom.
Okay.
And you're kind of going back to, okay, you need authority, so you need backlinks. You need other people to be posting about why you're the best, even if you're seeding it to them, but you need them to be posting it. And platforms that are going to dominate, like a Reddit. Reddit is the single biggest source, I think.
Isn't Reddit
Love
great?
Reddit.
So
it is amazing. Actually great.
It's so
like,
good.
It's so underrated at the moment.
It is. And then so with Reddit, like Google started listing Reddit. Their search thing, like Reddit's numbers went through the roof.
Yeah.
But Reddit is the single biggest engine that powers LLMs.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's all these bits.
Who owns Reddit? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it standalone?
Someone.
I think it might be, actually.
It's standalone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in an incredible position.
Yeah.
So that one will be amazing, but you need people who are focusing on your organic strategy for Reddit, making sure you're present.
Okay.
But yeah, digital PR, being in the places where you might not be thinking that, we want to be on the Rolling Stones, whatever. That might not actually be crawled. You want to be on, make sure Wikipedia's right. You want to be on Reddit.
Yes. Yeah.
The Daily Mail might have a role to play in it. These are the places.
Okay.
So I think it's keep doing what you're doing, but do it slightly better and think of the basics. The basics are what powers all of this because it's all data. But it is very easy for someone to come in and say that. I just get frustrated because everyone's like, AI, it's going to revolutionize everything and change everything.
Yeah.
Already has.
Yeah.
It already
Slowly
has. So if you want to see what to do, do it.
Yeah.
Don't go to a conference.
Or do if it's like DLC or something.
A DLC.
Yeah. So because you mentioned a lot of focus on the insight teams, a lot of focus on data. So do you think in your opinion, a lot of companies are focusing on that kind of pretty marketing rather than the measurement side? Do you think that's where they can come unstuck almost?
I think they're focusing on both. I think measurement has become easier and harder at the same time.
Yeah.
Which seems to be my answer to everything. But I think, if you look at where measurement was when you had multi-touch attribution, cookies dominated, etc., it was like largely lies. So it's probably good that's not still knocking about.
Yeah.
But the things that worked way back when, like econometrics, are still the right things to do. It's just they've taken a different form and they're more focused on MMM and complexity.
Yeah.
And if you can build in your promo strategy and your product depth and all of that sort of stuff, you get really robust models. I think that's where the market shifted to, and it's basically a bit like Back to the Future. It's just we're going back to logic.
Yeah.
So if marketing is
isn't it?
sales, and essentially we're trying to convince someone to do something, we're trying to shift behavior. You can't measure that in the moment. That takes time, and that's where the old school methodologies work best. Also puts more emphasis on creative,
Yeah.
You need to be really creative in what you're
Everyone's
doing.
talking about creative and AI creative at the moment.
Yeah. And it's really strong. And it enables testing, it enables scale. Like Meta, the more assets you've got, the better you'll perform.
Yeah.
That comes at a cost. AI can help with that. So it's fantastic. It really is. It's helping in every area. But use it logically in the way that marketers have been operating for years, and it will integrate. If you try and create something which is new marketing, I don't think it's necessary. We've got new ways to speak to consumers, but that doesn't shift what our job necessarily is. We just need to understand it. Yeah. I mean, I know, sorry, your question was on pretty marketing versus measurement. I think measurement is having its day.
Yeah.
I do.
That's good.
So I think that is there and it's being looked at. Pretty marketing is difficult to talk about because you need to separate it out a bit. You have the creative side, which hardworking assets to me is pretty marketing as well. Assets need to be on point for whatever job they're doing. It could also be that, your big brand focus pieces. I think what marketers are doing now is they're moving away from a brand strapline. And it's now becoming more about how does that product benefit someone's life? What's the value per wear? All of those sorts of things. Because
that's true.
People don't have as much disposable cash, so the creative's got to do a slightly different job. It's got to sell the product, not sell the brand as much. So you're building up the funnel, if you like, bottom up, not top down. And I think that's been a bit of a shift. But yeah, we've got more ways now. If you think that, let's go back to AI search. If we're saying that we're salespeople, what that's enabling you to have is a sales assistant within search, which is great. So if your product data's right, your content's right, et cetera, that sales assistant is armed with more to then go and sell your product. It's great.
Yeah.
And if that then fits into your overall brand story and fits in with that bottom-up approach to content, it's just another way that you have a voice, albeit it's an AI bot, or agent, but you have another voice that's talking to someone, trusted by someone because they're seen as a third party, talking about how good you are. And it's consistent with the story. I think that's where the power is. So I think pretty is important, but pretty needs to be hardworking. Measurement is vital. But I think people are starting to realize that more and more now.
So with the measurement as well, because that's a really good point. I think there was a massive boom of, if we're just talking about recruitment quickly, of insight roles and data roles. Do you feel that it's just become easier to do that within individuals within the team now? Does everyone just have to have it as part of their role rather than having it separate? Or do you think there's still a need to have it separate?
So if I think of people that I've worked with, they have to have more knowledge now of measurement at a more junior point in their career.
Right, okay.
So they have to mainly understand the pitfalls of it.
Okay.
And to be opinionated on it. I think in terms of owning some measurement models, I think now that is becoming more regular to have in-house.
Okay.
It's the initial cost of you need to go out there, get it, build it.
Yeah.
Third party is necessary for that more often than not. And it is expensive, but the maintenance of that is more often than not, I think, now managed in-house, which makes sense. And to have that data plugged in on a more regular basis. I think if it's in-house, you can get, everyone's more motivated to get data sources outside of media. Yeah. And that's when media makes more sense.
Okay.
I mean, the market is challenging at the moment. Everyone's saying it to me, every fashion business, they're saying, if we're not coasting, if we're making the same as we did a year ago, that's success. So, but there are others who are not so doing well commercially. Other than the market conditions, what do you see in a lot of fashion businesses, like the peers or your friends that you work with? What are they not doing? Like the simples, the complex stuff.
I think product marketing.
Product marketing.
I think so.
Okay.
It's not shifting quick enough.
Right.
So if you can shift quick enough, which goes back to decision making, if you can focus on like, how am I going to convince someone to do this thing that I need them to do? Yeah. That's the best way forward. And that's what we've always done. It's just you do it in a slightly different way now.
Yeah.
You have to tell someone so much information in such a short period of time.
So true.
That in itself is a skill. And you're reliant on different people to do it. Like I said, word of mouth. If you get word of mouth working for you, you've nailed marketing.
That's golden.
And I think that, influencers were having their heyday on that. TikTok Shop, is absolutely brilliant. I worry TikTok Shop that now you're seeing too many ads and too many influencers or affiliates, and that's going to devalue the entertainment on the platform, and therefore you see users drop off.
Yeah,
that's a risk.
Yeah.
So I think that one, early advantage, was phenomenal on that platform. Now let's see what happens. But yeah, if people are able to get word of mouth more often than not, is by giving a really, really good story on product.
Yeah.
Not a really, really good story on brand.
Right, okay.
In my opinion. And I know that's probably one which other people will disagree with, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Marketing budgets have a limit to them.
Yeah. That mirrors all the conversations I'm having with CEOs or business owners within fashion. They're saying we're doing really well on Amazon and marketplaces. Our DTC and in-store is struggling. We just need to ramp up the word of mouth and or the brand marketing. Yeah. Let's just put the emphasis on that because we've got no extra budget. So, yeah. How have you found, I don't know whether you can say, but budgets for this year, have they remained the same at Pentland?
I can't say it, but we're doing well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, which is good.
We're doing well.
I was trying to find a question where I get the answer like that. I was like, how can I ask a question?
But I think this is where having a strategy for your point around marketplaces is really interesting, right? Like having a strategy about what product where is solid. And I think that's the thing which enables growth a lot of the time now, because you've got more shop windows than you've ever had.
Yeah.
Actually, these platforms might do some of the marketing for you. Like last year, Amazon stopped advertising on Google Shopping for about 2 months. Didn't go that well, but that is a big push for them. There are, most people's biggest competitor is themselves on Amazon.
Yeah.
So having that product strategy means that you're not working against yourself.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. But the marketplaces, the audience that they provide, the proposition, the speed of delivery, all those points, just need to factor it into the overall sales plan, not we're going to go out and beat that through our own D2C. It's like everything has a role.
Yeah.
There's a role for exclusive products, right? That can be a differentiator. So what are the differentiators by platform, I think is key. In terms of our levels of, investment and how we're going, we're more efficient than we've been, and we were already efficient, and our volumes are looking good. So I think that's been driven by that strategy of knowing what you want to sell, where to who, and that was a key driver in it. I've dodged the question, I think.
What I'm dying to know is what's number 3. So in terms of career, agency is number 1, client side is number 2, and then what's number 3?
I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know. But I can tell you it's not tech.
Yeah.
And that's the normal one. But that doesn't tickle my pickle.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the slogan for the podcast episode.
Yeah,
tickle my pickle.
No, because that is true. I think everyone does then go into tech or create something, and so there's
a lot of money in tech though at the moment. So much.
There is, but it's so cutthroat as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know where I'd point myself in tech, because I think it's so intertwined.
Yeah.
I think this marketplace, you can't just go, I'm going to focus on AI now, because that's across everything.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do in that space?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that. I don't know. A lot of it is luck and opportunity, isn't it? And seeing what's there at the right time.
Yeah.
But I will caveat, I'm very happy where I am.
Yeah. That's good. Good food for thought.
And what are you most excited about for the rest of the year? We're pretty much at the halfway point for the year.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for market-wise and within Pentland? And maybe personally as well.
It'd be nice if there was less wars.
Yeah.
And that kind of covers all three.
Yeah.
It's making marketeers resilient though.
That's what it is doing, yeah. It'd be nice to experience some better market conditions. It feels like it's been a while now since, there's been a heyday for anything.
Exactly, yeah.
Other than petrol.
Yeah, it was probably like 2022 or something, wasn't it? The heyday.
Like 18 months
after.
COVID
was good for D2C. But
well, that's true, yeah. That's true.
It feels like it's been a slog generally in every industry since then.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of adapting at that point. What am I most excited about? I'm really interested to see what comes out in terms of brand collabs, not just for us, but across the market, because I think that's a really interesting space at the moment, and people have done some really good work on that front. And that's always quite telling when you see it. There's a lot, I think, now around the World Cup that'll be interesting to see how people kind of compete there and what the role is for platforms like TikTok, because that's become your secondary viewing platform.
Exactly.
A lot of the games are going to be at night, so it could be huge for TikTok depending on what role they play. Same for YouTube. Like it could shift the year's momentum in terms of where we see investment going. And kind of celebrity endorsements, I always just find them interesting more than anything else.
What do you find interesting about it?
Some of them are so off the wall.
So left field.
Don't expect.
I was thinking,
so it's just quite nice to see what's actually going on in the market. Personally, it's, AI really interests me.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds completely ridiculous because it interests
AI
everyone.
Businesses or people or companies using AI where you're focused on going, that's pretty cool?
I think there's too many at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's hard to determine what's an
busy,
interface just built on something. And what's genuinely unique. This year, I think will be a lot about working out the bugs, particularly on the creative space, and see where people accelerate. So I'm not picking a horse yet.
Yeah.
I do think Google will win long term. And I think they've got their hands in so many pies that they can.
It's just going to work out for them.
Yeah, I think so. GDPR did.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Gosh.
So everything kind of always does.
Yeah.
The other one I think is Amazon. I think they are the most underrated media player that there is.
Okay.
And the amount of data they've got is ultimately insane. So when you start to build something a little bit more market facing, and they improve their AI
capability. Can you get the data from
capability.
TikTok? Because you can't get emails from TikTok, can you?
No, it all stays within.
So do you think they'll change that at some point or no?
No, I don't think so, because I think that's their power.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's how they hold it.
I think this will be the thing. Like walled gardens won't go away. You'll see more of them. It'll just be how you integrate your data with them.
Yeah.
Then how do you scale your propositions effectively when it comes to things like feed management, bringing in as much consumer insight as possible? Then how do you get your creative in the best possible shape to sell and to tell your product stories?
Yeah.
All of those need AI to a degree, and they need really good data. But they're all codependent on each other in having that brilliant next go at how do we drive performance. So I don't think there is a single one to back. The reason why I say Google is because they've got all that.
Yeah.
Like, they've got it all already.
Got everything.
I still think of Google as being the single biggest customer barometer that any brand has.
Yeah.
Like people searching for your brand, that tells you so much, doesn't it? People searching for category tells you a hell of a lot. Take that combined review data, you've got a pretty good view on what people are thinking about and doing. Amazon, I think, are the other ones. Like I say, they've got that data as well. So it's what do those two do?
What about any other platforms that we mentioned, Reddit and maybe TikTok? There could be a drop off, but are there any other platforms that are coming out that you think, okay, they're ones to watch? Or
I can't work Meta out at the moment.
Okay.
I feel like WhatsApp will be the key one for them and how that then works. So is a digital wallet going to appear there?
Yeah.
Right.
And can you natively check out? And I think they're the bits which will fuel it a bit.
Okay.
Reddit is the most underrated one.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's the most powerful one for brands at the moment as well. But that's difficult from a resource standpoint. So that's where they might have their AI offering. Wouldn't surprise me if they then work with Google and started to look at what the future looks like together.
Nice.
It's all intertwined though. That's the thing. Like I think AI has brought everything together and it's this big spider web of what the fuck do we do?
That's pretty much what we're gathering, right?
Yeah. It's like who's good, who's not good, who's talking the talk. Oh, they're talking a good game, but you just don't know who is actually really good at the moment.
So it's still like watch the space.
There's too many things.
The art of bullshit in marketing is definitely at an all-time high.
With all the AI that's coming out, all the AI companies. It's just like, who is actually...
Everyone's building something and it's just like... And then you feel if you're not building something in AI, then you're doing something wrong or...
But you can... It's like, okay, if you build like your own little mini agent in Gemini... It's like, okay, should I monetize that? Is that going to do something? Anyone can do it. Why not? So it'll be really interesting to see.
And last question, what 1, 2 or 3 things should digital teams, performance teams, insight teams should be focused on from now until the end of the year?
Testing.
Testing, yeah.
For sure. And I would say get hands-on with different AI platforms. So we'll bucket that as one. Evaluate your creative in terms of what you actually want it to do and what you want it to provide. What story does it tell? Is it just meh? Things like that. I think then the last one is, how do you educate yourself? Because at the moment, you know, things are tough in the market. So how do you look at what's next for you, particularly young marketers, right? Or anyone who is really assessing their long-term journey. I think it's now harder than ever to see what your long-term journey is.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. Yeah.
So you really have to think about how you're learning. It used to be, right, you're either learning or earning. I think now more than ever, if you're junior in your career and you're not learning, you're not going to earn in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the bit. I actually think now is the time to have a look at an agency, see how you can get involved there.
Yeah.
If you're at that stage in your career, then get hands-on with as many platforms as possible.
Yeah.
I think we are seeing now that specialists are going to still be in demand and potentially in more demand in the future.
Yeah.
But it's those ones that are, I think, more commercial and understand and have been exposed to the complexities of P&Ls.
Yes,
That's why
100%.
that's actually one of the brilliant things about an agency, isn't it? You pick up a P&L when you're like 25. So
Exactly.
you do learn the financial side like much earlier, and then you can transition anywhere and learn it again. So I think this is now the hardest time for anyone entering this industry in many ways. And if you focus too much on the short-term financial, you could be fucking yourself in years to come, more than like I would have been in that position. I really feel for people coming into the industry now. I'd definitely recommend becoming a brain surgeon instead if you can.
we need quite a lot.
What's that, 7 years? Probably longer than 10 years, something like that for a brain surgeon.
They can do marketing on the side.
Exactly.
Freelance on the side. Thank you so much for coming in.
Really
thank you for having me.
Super interesting.
Guys, click us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Subscribe. Click the like button.
And give us a follow.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.